Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Elevate Your Mindset. It is November 29th. How was your Thanksgiving, Cheryl?
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I loved it. It was a great time. We had wonderful friends over. We had family. It was all good. All good.
Very cool. Well, I'm going to say right now, cheers to you, Cheryl, on the East Coast. It's mealtime. It's 3:00. So those of you that are following us with the Keto 90 Kickstart. We're starting today at Kickstart. So if anybody's interested, I know that if your holistic health coach invited you to this podcast, you can go to the to keto90.info. So that's keto90.info and learn about the best weight loss program on the planet.
Yeah.
That's how Cheryl used to be 350. And now look at her. She's size 0 and just beautiful. And
well,
I think you grew 3 inches too, didn't you, Cheryl? You were like 5'2", now you're 5'5".
Yeah, I did. Yeah, absolutely. Yes to all of that. It's just amazing what this program can do for you.
All kinds of great things. All right. Well, today we're going to be talking about motivation, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Where does motivation come from?
Yeah, well, let me tell you, obviously the brain a little bit, but my whole question before, or like right when we started this, I was like, I have no problem with motivation, but it is like, I said, well, Paul, how long do you think motivation will last? So for me, I can be super motivated and I can get motivated like this and I'm motivated, but how long can it last? And it needs to last so that we can achieve the goals that we have set for ourselves, right? The result that we want. So yeah. I love this one. It's really good.
My favorite saying of all time is from Zig Ziglar. He said that motivation is a lot like bathing. It needs to be done daily.
Yeah, I like that. That is a really good one. That is a good one.
Wise words. Yeah. So let's, igniting meaningful motivation is our topic for today, Cheryl. And so there's two competing forces here. There's fear and there's motivation.
Yeah.
So talk to us about those two things there.
Well, fear, we don't know what that is, do we?
No fear.
No. We all know what fear is, and we know that we have certain things that cause us to procrastinate, to stop, to hold back, not to be who we could truly be if we did not have any fear. And I love to say, so in moves motivation, and motivation is something that moves you, it pulls you forward in the direction that you have decided to go. So there it is, fear or motivation, which is so interesting because I didn't realize it's either or, but it's you pick one of those two, right? I mean, that's really kind of what I got out of the whole lesson today, is that you pick one of those two to be in. Are you in fear or are you motivated?
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that those were opposites either. I agree 1,000% that is absolutely what's going on in our brains. And so let's talk about this fear center inside of we all have a fear center inside of our mind. And yes. The number one thing that's happening to people, the thing that's happening in your fear center, is that you're developing some sort of story that is completely untrue.
Yeah, you're creating it.
Just creating a story. So, and you're asking all the wrong questions, like, what if they say no? What if I'm not good at this? What if I'm this? What if I'm that? What if that happens? What if they get mad at me? Like, who said they were gonna get mad at you? Like, where'd you come up with that from? Oh, I don't know. That could happen though. Sure. So
they could buy within
freeze over too. But
too. I mean, they could say yes, absolutely, and I, they could like join you immediately, right? You never know, and I find that so fascinating that I do this too, with the what ifs before we even get started. So we know, what if this, what if that, what if this, oh my gosh, I don't know. And so it makes us stop and it makes us sit in fear, or we come up with great ideas of how we don't need to do that right now. And something else over here needs to be done. And yeah, all of those things.
Absolutely. We all do it. We all create these stories. So it's just the awareness is the key. That, wait a second, I'm making this up. Like, and if you're wondering where that's coming from, we always talk about these two women Tawanda, who we love, and then there's Hilga, who's not our friend, usually. So Tawanda represents your conscious mind, which is 3% of your thoughts. And then 97% of your thoughts are coming from your subconscious mind, and we refer to her as Hilga. So it is always Hilga that is putting these negative thoughts into your mind. It's coming from your subconscious mind, and this subconscious mind thing's been building since you were born. So, if you've had any sort of difficulties growing up, and Cheryl, I know your childhood was perfect, so you wouldn't understand this, but there could be some negative things that happen to you through life that has caused your subconscious mind to think certain thoughts and produce certain emotions at times. So yeah, sure.
And something that I really always remember that's really helped me kind of understand my subconscious mind, which you guys, believe me, we don't know what's going on in our subconscious mind really at all, because it is subconscious. But what I did realize is that your subconscious mind has one thing to do and one thing only, and that is to keep you safe. And so if your subconscious mind in whatever way thinks that you're not safe or anything new, we've talked about this a lot, but getting out of the comfort zone, then it will pull you back. It will cause you to have fear, right? So you'll stop so that it can keep you safe. But just becoming aware of that and realizing that that's what it's doing, that means it's working against me. It is not working for me. It is working against me to keep me safe. Even calling a person, that seems like that would be something that's scary to my subconscious mind. Well, I have to do that to get the result I want. And so but that awareness that, hey, it's just trying to keep me safe. And let's be realistic, giving someone a ring is not something that will, say to your, that's not unsafe for you. So you can so for me, it's been easier just to move forward in doing it just by realizing that.
Absolutely, Cheryl. And you got to tell the story, because if I tell it, I'm going to butcher it. Because it's just such a great story.
Oh, yeah.
There was a person, I'm mentioning names here, that has no fear, and was talking with Cheryl. So, tell the story, Cheryl.
Listen, I was super excited about that. I was like, really? Well, how are you doing that? Like,
the woman said, I have no fear.
Yeah, she says, I have no fear. And I said, oh my gosh, that is so fantastic. I want to do that. So what's your trick? What are you doing? I said, and then I started asking her questions like, well, are you scared to call people? No. Well, are you scared to hand out a health evaluation? No, not at all. I'm not scared to do that at all. I'm like, oh my gosh, well, are you scared to hold a Zoom call and explain how things are going and what's going on? She goes, nope, I'm not scared about any of that. And I said, well, that's awesome. What are you doing? How are you doing that? And she goes, oh, well, Cheryl, I'm not doing anything. It's like, oh, well, that's why you're not scared, because you're not doing anything.
She's not afraid. Nope.
So that's not how we want to stay unafraid.
Yeah. Just lock yourself in a closet.
By not doing anything. But I thought that was so cute. And I'm like, oh, well, I think we need to start moving forward and doing.
Yeah, just to set the record straight here, if you have any type of hesitation whatsoever about doing something or some procrastination going on, it is fear that is causing that.
Absolutely.
So today's about setting a goal. And there can be as many goals as you want in life, but pick a goal that you have in life, something you want to change, something you want to elevate. And on a scale from 1 to 10, where is the fear? Where do you feel like the fear is in that, and the procrastination, the hesitation in doing that? Like, I really want to write this book. I really want to lose this weight or build this business or do whatever in life. And you feel fear when you think about that topic. I know that there's things, we always talk about the box, and when there's things I have to do inside the box, no problem. But as soon as there's something outside the box, not that I don't go do it, but I can feel a little funny about it. Like, ooh, I never did that. And it's just my subconscious mind saying this, that I've never done that before, and then I, come out and I'm like, listen, I can do anything. So I've trained my mind to overcome that. But even to this day, I still have that quarter second of, ooh, that's a mountain right there, but I've worked really, really hard in my life to say I can do hard things. I mean, that is just my foundational statement. And we'll talk about the belief system in a second here, Cheryl. But so just if you could type in the chat, where do you think you are as, for whatever your goal is, where you think your fear is at from the scale from 1 to 10 right now. And that's really comes down to the questions you're asking yourself and where your focus is at. If your focus is on these negative things, of course, your fear level is going to be higher. So let's talk about the other side, Cheryl. Let's talk about the motivation center. So this is fascinating. So there's 6 things that make up motivation. So we ask people all the time, like, what is motivation? And then people will be like, I don't know. I mean, it's just the wanting to do something. But where actually creates motivation? Like, where does motivation come from? So, Cheryl, what are the 6 things? And we'll go over these really quick and then ask you some deeper questions. What are the 6 things that make up motivation?
Well, I love this because this is what we've been talking about forever. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together, I guess, but it's so cool. So,
well, just for, we both are 2 motivated people.
Oh yeah.
So its question is, well, why are those 2 people so motivated? Well, we found out that there's 6 things that we have that are no wonders we're so motivated.
Yeah. And the very first one is the result, or the what you want, right?
Yeah. So we're super focused.
Yeah, you have to focus on what you want, not focus on what's going on, not focus on the past, not focus on what's going to happen tomorrow. You need to focus on the result that you want, right?
Yeah, and that result's
2,
got to move you. It's like, wow, like,
oh yeah,
weighing a certain amount or making a certain amount of income or having this amazing marriage or whatever it is in life that you want the result, a result to be. It's just that can motivate you all by itself. That oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Right. You can have a result in all different areas of your life, which is what I like to do. Right. So number 2 is you have to have a very strong why, or your purpose. You have to have a really strong why.
Yeah, because there's got to be someone's got to drive you to do this, because the result you want, again, is outside of your comfort zone. Yeah. So there's got to be something that's going to push you through that barrier, through that fear, and make you do it anyways.
And
so
keep you going.
Keep you going. Especially
even
during the hard times.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's going to be hard times.
Yes.
It is uphill.
Yeah. So 3 is the map, the how, the strategy. So how do you have to know how you're going to get there.
Yeah. So what we want to do on all these things is rate this on a scale from 1 to 10. So if you're a positive, you know what your result is, then put a 10 there. If you got your purpose, my purpose is down flat. I got 5, 6, 7 powerful things that the reasons why I'm going to do this. So give yourself a 10 on that too, if you got that. Then the map. How convinced are you that this strategy, if you do this, this, and this, and follow the strategy, and it's written out, how convinced are you that that's going to take you to where you want to go? So if any of these things is less than 10, then you're not going to be 10 motivation or have a motivation level of 10, because there's some hesitation, like, well, I know what I want, I know why I want it, but I'm not exactly sure how to get it. That'll cause you to pull back a little bit. What are some other things that can pull us back, Cheryl?
How about your beliefs? What are the beliefs that you have? Is it that, oh, I can absolutely do that? Or is it, I don't know. So
yeah, it's the whole I can thing. I can lose weight. I can build a business. I can have a great relationship, whatever it is that you're trying to do, that belief that I can do that. That's it. As soon as you say, I can't do something, you're done. You're finished. There's no way it's going to happen. Your motivation is going to go to 0. What else is part of motivation, Cheryl?
I will. So determination.
Yeah. So that's a great emotion to have, is determination. Like, I feel determined. So it's an emotion that we want to feel, and that no matter what happens, I'm going to get there. I'm going to accomplish this goal.
Yep.
Cheryl, I know you're the queen of this.
I think you have to think about what determination means to you. And that is what determination means to me, that no matter what happens, no matter, it doesn't, nothing else matters. What matters is that the result that I want. That's what I focus on.
This will happen.
Yes.
And it's being absolutely certain about that. And last but not least, Cheryl?
I am. So it's the I can, I will, and then I am, which is I am is our identity. Right.
Which I think is the most important part of all of this, because as soon as you say, I'm just not that type of person. I'm not the type of person that can make that kind of money or lose weight. I'm not, it's just, other people can lose weight, but I can't.
Well, I like that there's two choices. Either you are that type of person or you're not that type of person.
Right.
And you get to decide. And as soon as you say, especially for me, this is a really big positive trigger for me. When I say I am the type of person that blank, right? Whenever I say that, there's something that really, I don't know, it's like it turns it on. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I am that type of person. That is the type of person that I am. And it helps me to refocus. I think everything helps me refocus back on the result that I want. And it helps me keep that at the forefront of my mind, which is exactly what I need to do.
Absolutely. So what we want to do, the whole goal of this result we want from this Zoom or this podcast here is to ignite meaningful motivation inside of you. So what we did is we came up with 10 questions that we want everyone to answer. So if you're in the Zoom with us, you can type in the chat, or if you've got a piece of paper in front of you, we want to write notes on this and really, so we're going to do this together right now. We're going to answer these 10 questions because we want you to leave this podcast today with super high motivation. So let's get clear on what that is and how to get it. So Cheryl, what's the number one question?
What is the result you want?
Always about result. So
it is, because that, and you know what I love about that is it gives you something to focus on when other things may not be quite as clear as they need to be yet. But if you know what you want, you know the result you want, then you are, I believe, 50% of the way there.
Oh, absolutely. And then what Cheryl and I teach is a specific way to word this. I'm so happy and grateful now that blank. So we're always stating the result we want in the present tense. I'm so happy and grateful now that blank. Now that I'm making $3 million a year. Now that I weigh this amount. Now that I have this amazing relationship, whatever it is that you're looking for, it's always, I'm so happy and grateful now that. So it's very specific result on that. What's the second question, Cheryl?
Yeah, the second one is, what will you feel like when you get it? And I think it's so important on this one to use as many senses as you can. So how you will feel, like what are the smells that I'm serious, I've done this before, and it was super important to do all of the senses. And you know, how you will feel when you look out, and what will your team look like? And what will be reflected in their eyes when you see them? And just like anything like that you can really pull all of the more senses you can pull in there, the more you'll be able to make it real. And I think making that real is just as important as the result.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cheryl and I were talking before the call, and I'm like, well, Cheryl, give me an example of that. Like, what do you mean? She's like, well, I can, not only can I smell money, I can taste the money, you know? So I'm like, okay,
Yes.
it's very, never thought of it that way, but yeah, using all your six senses to really, how is that going to make you feel when you get it? And to me, Cheryl, it's the feeling that's the most important part of it. That's why I love I'm so happy and grateful now that, because you want to feel that feeling as if it already happened. That's what takes the motivation up to level 10.
That's right.
Question 3.
Question 3 is, why is achieving this goal so important to you? So
Wow.
that's your why.
Yeah.
That's your why.
And this is something you want to sit and think about for a while, because this is everything. Like I said, if the purpose is powerful enough, the price doesn't matter. So you got to make sure the purpose is super strong by answering this question.
Yeah. Number 4 is, how will achieving this goal impact you and your loved ones?
Wow. Super powerful question.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, Kate, wow, that would impact me tremendously. Like, how I would feel amazing. And then you think about the loved ones you have and how it impacts them, if your income went up, or if this went up or that went up. It's undescribable. I mean, how great.
Well, really, and I do think income's important, but I think as a mom, It's really the person that I've become and what my kids see in that person. Because I'm seeing now, my kids are a little bit older, they're 13, and I see how now they are starting to become interested in what I do and the way that that I've built my business. And mom, do you think I could do that? Well, I want to do that. What do I do? How do I do it? And I think that to me is the most, as a mom, is the most important result that I could ever ask for or get, is my kids looking to me to be like, hey, listen, I'd like to do what you're doing, because we know how important it is. We know what a great um, vehicle we have here, not only helping people, but being able to build a residual income. So it's fantastic. Really, it's all about that.
Yeah. And you've been the shining star of this whole thing, Cheryl. I mean, to say this is what I'm going to create in my life, and then to go out and do it and have your kids watch you do it the whole way is just magical. I mean, it's something that you didn't just say it and not do it. You said it and did it, and they saw it, and they're like, wow, anything can happen if you work hard. Hard work does pay off.
Absolutely. And to all the moms who sometimes we start thinking, gosh, am I spending too much time doing that and not enough time with them? And, and all this, when we talk about the block timing and all of that stuff, which is so super important, but there is no way you could ever say, would it be better for me not to do anything and have, 24/7 with my kids? And, is there something that, is that better? No, that is not better. That is not better, because they need to have an example in their home of a strong woman. I'm saying woman because I'm the mom, but of a strong woman saying she will do things and doing them. I think that is super important for kids all the way around, especially today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about number 5, Cheryl. I love this one.
I do too, but it's kind of weird. When I very first read it, I was like, what? So 5 is, what will achieving this goal say about you? And my first thing was, well, what do you mean say about me? I mean, say about me to myself? Or what will it say to other people who know what I've done? Or what will it say to my kids or to the team or to corporate or to whoever? What did that mean? And I think that it's different for everybody, but a big one for me is what it says about myself to me. That's my biggest thing, right? Because I was able to accomplish something when I said that I would. And for me, the biggest heartbreak or letdown of my life is when I say I'll do something and I don't do it for myself. So it's all, for me, it's all about that. It could be other things too, like I said, but that for me is the most important.
Yeah. I mean, all those people you mentioned, including yourself, they're all important, because
Sure.
you want other people to think about you in a certain way.
Mhm.
So, by accomplishing what you had, I don't know, Hattie just said, it sends a message that you're unstoppable, that you can accomplish anything, that there's no mountain too high. So all of these things are the things that it says about you, and from you accomplishing that goal. So it's a great question to ask, and then you can see that, boy, if I accomplish this, this is how I'm going to think about myself. This is how other people are going to look at me.
Yeah.
And that's powerful motivation right there.
Yeah,
That
that's
alone
right.
can send you through a brick wall.
Now listen, Paul, the next one is my favorite, because I had no idea that I would need to give something up. I didn't ever think of it like that. So the next one is, what beliefs must you let go of or give up to achieve this goal? But when we think about it, that is super true. So we would have to give up, I am not good enough to accomplish this goal. I don't deserve this goal. I can't achieve this goal. All of those things you will have to give up. And that's hard sometimes, Paul. I have to be honest. That is hard. And a lot of times I think we're not even aware that we're subconsciously saying that or having that in our minds. And we're like spinning our wheels. We're on the hamster wheel and we're like, why is this not working? Why am I not able to step out of my comfort zone? Why is that so hard? Why is this, everything? You've got that brick wall right there. And so being able to become aware that you do have to give up those things, I think for me has made a ton of difference.
Yeah, sure. We always talk about limiting beliefs. And this is what we mean here, that and this is all coming from your subconscious mind. So the 97% of that runs your life, and you are always running a program. This program has been developed over the years. It's been refined and perfected, and usually in a bad way, of all these negative things that Cheryl just mentioned, that I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve this, or whatever BS that you came up with in your mind, because it is just a story. There's no truth to that. And your past does not equal your future. It's your decisions you make from this moment forward that's going to determine your destiny. So it's so important to recognize these limiting beliefs that we have. And then Cheryl, number 7 is the opposite of that.
Yeah, it is. It's what beliefs must you adopt to achieve this goal? And I will tell you, Paul, there's a ton of things that we can go through, but I love the way that we start this. I love that we start it with, I am absolutely certain that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Right? That's my favorite one. But I love how we start them.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating to me that how many people out there call themselves Christians and say, oh yeah, I memorize the Bible and I go to church every Sunday, but they don't think they can do anything. It says in black and white that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. What exactly did he leave out in the word all? Nothing. So that alone should be enough of your belief system to send you through any kind of obstacle that you hit, and should give you motivation like nothing else in the world. So that's a great one. I love the next one, Cheryl. This is one of my favorites, is I'm absolutely certain everything's figure outable. A lot of the things that I come across that I have to do in life, I didn't go to college for that. I didn't go to college to become a social media marketer, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to take some other classes. I'm going to talk to some people that are mega successful, find out how they're doing it, model them, and I'll figure it out. I can figure out anything. So I really love that saying that it's all figure outable. So you just got to come up with, I am absolutely certain blank, and come up with I have a list of hundreds of things that I'm absolutely certain about. And I read this list regularly, like not daily, at least weekly, and reconfirm that these are my beliefs. And when you do that and you change these and adopt these powerful beliefs into your mindset, you become unstoppable, and your motivation goes through the roof.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So let's talk about number 8. And I love this one, Paul.
This is a big one, Cheryl.
This is a big one. Yes, it is. What are you willing to change to achieve this goal? That's a big one.
Yeah. Because it's something, you don't have this result for a reason. You've been doing something every single day, and then it led you to where you are today. So there's something has to change, or you're not going to get to where you want to get to. So what are you willing to change to achieve this goal? Super great question. I got to change something, I can't do this. I can't do that. With there's things that you have to exchange to get and to have the time to do the things that you really, really want to do and to accomplish this goal.
That's right. I was just listening to it. That's so funny that you brought up Zig Ziglar earlier. I was just listening to a Zig Ziglar motivational thing. And he said that when you work, you need to take it very seriously, because you are giving up part of your life to build a better life. And I love that. I said, that's absolutely right. And that's really what it is. You're going to have to give up something. You're going to have to give up, and we just went over a bunch of the different things that we have to give up that I never really thought about. But exchanging that time needs to be very important to us, because we are taking a part of our life to do the things that we need to do to reach those goals that we have. So
yeah, so this number 8 question really is asking, what are you willing to give up?
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's definitely some things you got to let go of, bad people, bad relationships, too much TV time, whatever it is that's causing you to not have the time to achieve your goal. So Cheryl, number 9 is the exact opposite of that.
What actions are you willing to take on a daily basis to achieve this goal? We talk a lot about this. It's the little things you do every day that make it the biggest difference, not the one thing you do once a year.
Yeah. I'm going to put here in the notes and add to the notes that rituals
Yes,
equal results.
that's right.
So whatever you do on a daily basis is going to get you the result you want. If you eat good every day, exercise, take your supplements, you're going to
Drink
lose weight.
water.
Drink water, all those things. Yep. So every single area of your life, all 8 areas are where there are now because of your rituals. So if you want to change your life, you got to change your rituals, what you're doing on a daily basis.
Yep.
And then
And
last but not least, Cheryl,
What new identity are you willing to embrace?
yeah.
And
So
this-
in identity, we're talking about I am the type of person who blank.
Yep. I am the type of person that, and then you fill that in.
Yeah. So I'm the type of person who makes $3 million a year. It's just who I am. And so all of these statements have got to be you living at 100 degrees. We talked on a past call about most people like 72. It's comfortable. Well, I like 72. It's nice and comfortable. As soon as it gets hot, they're like, that's not for me. But all high success is at a high temperature. So I made up my mind that I love living at 100 degrees. That's just the number I'm going to live at. 72 is what? It's a C. It's good. It's not great. 80 is great. 90 is excellent, but it's good. And that's where most people, like 98% of the population, lives at 72. Good. And that's just, so what would be the statement that would turn the heat up, as Caroline just mentioned there? So I'm the type of person who weighs 180. I mean, it's just who I am. It's the goal weight I have. What is the type of person? I'm the type of person who is an amazing parent, just like Cheryl's an amazing parent. She says it to herself every single day.
Yeah, I do. Oh, and believe me, that works, by the way.
Oh, yeah. How well does I am smart work, Cheryl? I'm the type of person that's just super smart, just who I am.
I say brilliant, but yes,
Brilliant.
it
I'm the type
does
of person
work.
who's brilliant.
It does work really well. It really does. Yeah. And I love that we talk a lot about emotions, and I'm the type of person that's excited. I mean, that to me, if you're okay, well, I won't bring that up, but believe me, it can work. So it works when you put it down, say it every day, and you start becoming that person that you're talking about. And I think that's so important to remember and do, because guess what? You can be whoever you want. And that's
Yeah.
what's so exciting.
Yeah. The last example we have, Cheryl and I, we know a lot of people, and they all say, men and women say, I just always attract losers, as far as marriage goes or relationships goes. I always attract this type of person, and so you want to change that and say, I'm the type of person who is in an amazing marriage or amazing relationship, who can create an amazing relationship. So it's changing how you look at yourself, your identity in this. And that's seeing yourself as my identity is I'm an amazing person, just who I am. I'm capable of creating amazing relationships. And then the last thing that we love talking about, and I say this to Cheryl just about daily, is that you get what you tolerate. So I'm the type of person that doesn't tolerate anything. And I mean that. I don't tolerate anything. There's got to be a line in the sand, because if you want to have an amazing life and amazing relationships, what you get, what you tolerate. And that's 100% true. So super important to be that type of person who does not tolerate any bad things.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And I really like remembering that you get what you tolerate.
Talk to us about using your daily planner every day and how that can help with motivation.
Listen, I love the daily planner. And the reason why that helps so much is because it gives you clarity, and clarity is power. And it's so interesting to me that it's taken me so long to figure out how important that is. And by the way, Paul, I think I told you this a little while ago when we were talking, but I always had a planner that was perfect when I was traveling 340 days a year, because I had to have a planner that was perfect because I was keeping everybody else in line. Right. And so I don't know how I got off on that track, but it's been really great to be able to, get that down so that it's out of my brain. Right. And
Did you
so
did
get
you
that
did you
down.
create some kind of negative connections there with
You know what I did?
that?
I think I created, what I did is I decided that to be smart, you needed to be able to keep everything in your brain and you wouldn't have to write anything down because I'm smart enough to
That's not true.
keep it all organized in my mind. I know, but that's the way that and then I felt smart because I didn't know anyone else that was doing that. But then when I realized that I was brilliant and I didn't need to do that, then I was able to. But you know what? How crazy is that? That is crazy. But you guys, all of us have crazy
The
stuff like
rule you
that.
had,
That's
if
right.
I memorize this, I'm smart.
Yeah. And so I just want to caution everyone that you all have things like that, but you probably just aren't aware of what they are. But as soon as, because I've tried how many times, Paul, to have a planner? How many times? How many have you sent me? Like 500.
100.
Okay. Like 500. Okay. So, and I would try and try and try, and it would last for like one day. Sometimes it would last for about 5 hours. Sometimes I would just wouldn't even, sometimes I just like would set it aside and be like, no. So, but as soon as I realized what I was doing and that it had everything to do with me, I was able to be like, oh, well, that's ridiculous. I'm still brilliant, even though I'm not keeping track of everything in my head. You guys can tell that that was one of my big problems, is that I didn't think I was smart. So I've changed all of that. But I realized that. And now I'm like, oh, of course I have a planner. I need a planner. What are you talking? Of course I have a planner. Right. But before I could not even do it. So it was the awareness. And then it was just changing the story, really, is what it was. And then being able to move forward in what's going to help me immensely with my business.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just, people think, well, how is, we hear this statement that discipline is freedom.
Oh,
You're like,
that's
well,
crazier than the
yeah,
chicken.
what does that mean? Like that,
But
that
it's
just
true.
seems like that doesn't, yeah, but it's true, because
It's true.
when you get clear on what you're going to do, you're free to execute. And whenever I don't do my daily planner, I feel lost. I don't feel motivated. I don't feel like I'm knowing where I'm going. So, and it's the same thing about getting lost someplace or being lost in the woods or something. You just have that feeling of being lost, that you just don't know where you're going here. So, it goes back to this whole thing about living life by default or by design. And we all have to make up a decision right now, whether, hey, I'm just going to let things happen today, however they happen, which is how most people live their life, or you can live it by design. And I literally have every single thing I'm going to do written down in my day planner of, every 15 minutes, this is going to happen.
And I would really suggest that you moms ask your kids this question. Would you rather live your life by default or design? And then have a conversation with them. That happened to me this morning. And we got into this great conversation and really talked about why that's important and why on earth you would live it by design and not just wait for it to happen. And, one of the questions was, well, you don't even know it's going to happen. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. Of course, you know what's going to happen if you're living it by design. So it was great to get into that conversation with kids and start them on the journey that we're on, so they understand what we're doing and the way that we're doing things. I think they're old, and well, my kids are at 13, so I think 10 is also old enough. So anyway, just a thought.
Absolutely, Cheryl. And so this was really life changing for me, because I started asking different questions, like, what time should I go to bed? What time should I get up? So I'm like, well, nothing really happens good after 10 p.m. Plus I'm always dead tired at 10 p.m. So it seemed like a good time to go to bed, and I get up at 5. And then I ask myself, well, what do I want to do? How do I want to start my day? What would be the most productive thing for me to do? And for me, when I exercise, it makes my whole day way better. I think better, I act better, everything's better when I start with exercise. So immediately 5 a.m. exercising. So and then you have to ask yourself, then what? What makes sense to do next? And getting those big rocks done early, the personal growth, the deep work time. I don't wait until 8 p.m. to do deep work. It's not going to happen. It's got to be early in that day where you're fresh and you can take on that big rock and crush it. So it's super powerful, super motivating. I know it doesn't quite make sense, maybe if you're not using a planner, but it once you do, you'll see why it makes such a big difference. So Cheryl, let's open it up to the audience here and take questions or comments from anybody that has something they want to talk about from today's lesson.
You bet. We got Caroline here. How you doing, Caroline Cooper? Oh, we have to unmute you. There you are.
Okay, I guess I'm doing okay. After hearing all this, it's overwhelming. I got to put it in its right perspective. But I do have some things that I do daily that helps. And like he said, it's getting up early while it's still and quiet, where you can hear yourself think. It's like what God said in the word, seek ye first the kingdom of God, put him first. Well, it's like that. I have to do those things. I have to be still and be quiet and see where I'm at. And a lot of times if I write something out, it's like the scripture says, so it is written, so it is done.
Yes.
And I applied that about maybe in 2020. I had just moved. I lost my house and I just moved into a little small apartment, but it was beautiful. It was like heaven. It was like it was heaven sent. And I didn't have everything that I needed. And so I just put the list on my refrigerator and I put in the name of Jesus, because it says commit thy will unto the Lord. And I put it up on my refrigerator and those things start coming because that's what my focus was, and it materialized, so I know. And then when you was talking about on number 5, I think, about let me go back, creating a legacy. What do you want? And I thought about being in balance. The things that I want, if it's not what I want, I ask myself, is it not what I want? Because the scripture say that he's our shepherd and he's going to give us everything we want. So if it's not what I want, if it's not what I desire, I delight myself in him so I can get desires in my heart. If they don't all line up, and my needs, if they don't line up, I have to walk away from it. That's what I'm at in my life. If it doesn't line up, I have to walk away from it. I didn't got too old and I want to leave a legacy for my children. That's the main thing that I want to do.
Yeah. Everything you said there was super powerful, but I just want to pull out that one thing that you wrote it down. When you get it out of your head and put it on paper, it becomes magical. So every day I'm journaling and writing things down like that and putting them on the wall. Like you said, it becomes your focus.
Yeah, it's like I'm talking to God. I'm before him in his presence. He's not gonna hold any good thing from me if I stay there focused and look at it and don't let nothing sidetrack me. But it's good to do it early, because even if you do let it sidetrack, you're gonna eventually get back to where you're supposed to be. It's like the scripture say, train up a child in the way it should go. So I got trained early that day.
Yeah.
My purpose, God, I'm still his child. He's still working on me. So he had to pull me back. He allowed some things to come into me to let me know, okay, you were supposed to be going this way, but you're going that way. You took a detour, so I have to turn around and come back. Oh, snap.
I like that, Caroline. I think he's still working on all of us.
Yes, he is. I'm a work in progress, so y'all pray for me.
We will. You're doing awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I love y'all.
Good job.
Love
Love
you.
you, Caroline.
Thank you.
Who else has a little something they'd like to share with us today?
It's going to be a little intimidating coming after that, because that was some wise wisdom right there.
Oh, but we got Cindy. She's ready to take on the challenge there. Hi, Cindy.
Oh, we can't hear you. Cindy?
Are you with us, Cindy?
Then I said, so Santa, so turkey, means,
Yes, this is,
as you said, and
we can't either make out what you or your daughter are saying. So let's move on to the next caller here.
Who has something they'd like to share with us? Either something that you learned today or something that you want to share with the group?
Yeah, well, that one nugget. So everyone should leave these podcasts with a nugget that, oh my gosh, like I didn't understand what motivation was before, and now I do. And that these 6 things, the knowing the result, knowing the purpose, knowing the map, saying I can, saying I will, and changing your identity is absolutely the key to elevating your motivation, along with the last tip we gave, which was using your daily planner every day.
All right, Becca.
Okay, so I absolutely love these 10 questions, the 10 questions to gain clarity and motivation. And this is something that I am going to make as a project for my team, especially my inner circle, of the things that we have to write down. We have to go through each one, answer them, and write them down. Because if we don't go through it, answer it, and write them down, then how do we know where we're going? How are we going to keep our motivation?
Won't be motivated.
Exactly. So I absolutely love this session. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
right, let's-
awesome. Okay, so it looks like Caroline's hand is up again. Caroline Cooper and then Caroline.
I think Caroline Cooper was up the whole time.
No. We can't unmute her.
What I wanted to say is just confirmation about motivation. I have a small women's group that I'm over, and that was the first thing God gave me in order to get us motivated, was motivation. And the next thing he gave me was action, I think it was. I can't remember right off. But the thing that this is just confirmation that what I need to be doing is to be motivated. And this is just helping me to work outside. Also, it's working on me because I'm like you. I like being excited. Life is like, ooh, we lions, tigers, and bears. Oh me, oh my. Every day it's adventure. So I'm always looking for something to. God opens the door for me to do these things, and I just thank God for the opportunity to hear these things and to be motivated, to cause others to be motivated. Because the word team means everyone gets more. Everyone achieve more. I'm sorry. Everyone achieve more is the acronym. Team is together. Everyone achieves more. That's what team means. So that means a whole lot. God is putting it in me. This has been in me, so it's gonna come out. I'm slow. It's like that tree that you planted in, I think Honduras, that it's like a seed that's planted, and it takes 7 years for it to grow. And when it grows into a big I don't know the name of the tree, but my daughter was telling me about it, and she showed me the picture in Honduras, how big this tree comes to be. How big it comes. It takes 7 years for it to cultivate, to start growing. And I feel like that's what's in me. It's gonna come, and when it comes, it's gonna be awesome. Awesome,
Yeah,
not
it's a
awesome.
bamboo tree.
Okay.
It's a bamboo tree.
Yeah.
The sequoia is another one. That the sequoia tree is another one that that takes literally forever, and after however long you see like one sprout, and it's like, oh my gosh, you just and that's kind of how we are, right? That's how we are. That's how our businesses are.
Yeah.
It takes a while for us to get it to become aware, get on the right path, live our life by design, all of those things. But once we get it, we're like a force to be reckoned with, right?
I think
That's what you sound like, Caroline.
I think it's like being like Edith Bunker. Oh, okay, Archie. You know how she sounded.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. All right, Caroline. Well, hey, thank you so much. Your words of wisdom today have been so awesome. And now we've got Caroline Powell up next.
Well, hey there.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm outstanding. I was wondering, a question on scoring yourself on the 1 to 10. Where are you on in the fear center of hesitation and procrastination? Is that explain scoring yourself there? So are you wanting the number to be low so that you don't have any fear there, or you are not hesitating at all and so you're at a 10?
Yeah, so let's say you want to do a Facebook Live and you're just, doesn't happen to anybody that we would know, but they have a fear that is at a high level that would cause you to hesitate and procrastinate and not do that. So if you're like, man, I really want to do these Facebook Lives, I know I need to, it would contribute to people's lives, it would help them grow, it would have a massive impact on people. So you know all these things, yet you still don't do it. So that means the fear level of that is at a 10 because you're just not doing it at all. Now, some people do a little bit so that they're, but they're just dabbling in it. So the fear is like, a 5, a 6, or a 7. But if you're doing it full out, then there's just no fear there. And you're not focusing on the fear, but the motivation, and really, here's the thing that I believe in, that if you don't have those motivation, those 6 things figured out or answer those 10 questions, fear is the only thing, it's either motivation or fear. So if you don't have those 6 things or those 10 questions answered over here, you're automatically gonna be overtaken by the fear because you just don't know, you're not clear. So that's why I really believe that clarity is power.
It is, yeah, and the clarity is power is really key. And Cheryl, what you were saying about talking about designing your life with your kids, I had a very similar conversation over Thanksgiving, and it's amazing, a generational thing, a difference in how people 10, 20 years older than I am just don't seem to be able to grasp that you have the ability to design your life however. And now, but my kids are like, oh, heck yes, I can. Look and see what I'm gonna do. And it just, the dichotomy was so interesting. And you were just so right in raising up our future generations with the power of, yeah, you can design your life. You do not have to go and do it this way, but this clarification is just really key.
Yeah, another thing that my sister always says, and I agree with you with a bit of the older generation and the younger generation, it is like eye-popping. It's so unbelievable, like the different ways we think. But I love this whole idea of these kids being able to realize this at an early age and really be able to design the life that they want. Like, I never got to do that. Did you get to do that? No. I didn't even know that it was a possibility. And I have another thing that I think so cool is I have one of the things one of my sisters always said, the one who loves to tell her little boy, we can all do hard things. The other thing that she always says is, no matter what, you have a choice. You always have a choice. Right. And I really like that because sometimes it's like, no, this just happened. And no, you had a choice. You have a choice how to react. You have a choice what to do. You have a choice how to feel. You have a choice what emotions you want to have. All of that is a choice. And I love that because to me, it gives me power. Right. That's the way I look at it. Oh, I have the power to make the choice to do whatever it is I want, to feel whatever way I want to feel, to be in some kind of a situation and get out of it like that. Right. So I love that whole idea of being able to, and once I realized that, like became aware, like it seemed to change my entire life.
Absolutely. Yeah. Critical. And it's critical to move forward knowing that you have that power.
Yes.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
That's right. Well, I don't know, Paul. It looks like we're about out of time. Unless somebody has something super quick that they want to talk to us about. Oh, we got Heather. Hello, Heather. We have enough time for Heather.
I'll be super quick. I love the planner conversation. I have had a planner since like 1988. I'm a like professional planner person. But
Well,
all of this
come on, teach
time-
classes for us here.
yeah, exactly. All of this time, I have not gotten a planner for my kids. So they are also 12 and 13, and I just told them while we're on the call that we're going to Staples. They're going to get their own planner.
Very
So
cool.
they're excited. Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay. Always going to show
Oh.
off something.
You got
Oh,
a
a
star.
star. I love that.
Oh, okay.
It's
a-
soap.
It's a
Okay,
do-it-yourself craft.
I love that.
Hmm.
That is
Thanks,
super
guys.
awesome. Yes, thank you, Heather.
Thank
That's
you.
a great. I have one that has about 10 planners and one that doesn't have any. So so yeah.
I think one takes after Jonathan and one takes after you. So it's just,
Yeah. That is
depends
true.
which parent the child gravitates to it. But
That is true. It's the Trapper. Okay, my favorite planner is the Trapper Keeper. I don't
oh,
even
listen,
know if
that's been a favorite of mine since I was 6. Yeah, it was.
I've-
I always had a
That is
trapper
so-
keeper.
That's so funny because I'm like, never heard of the Trapper Keeper, but Paul's had one.
Oh
for
yeah,
50 years.
yeah. Right before school started, you got to go buy the trapper keeper.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh, that is
yeah.
so funny.
I'm just excited to hear they still make them. But that's a whole other conversation. Like we should get. I know Heather just mentioned the full focus planner, which I actually have on my desk right here. Just came in the mail.
You guys are crazy as all
Yeah,
get
I got like a dozen of them sitting over here that I'm going through just to see how people organize things in their mind, and we're actually
I've-
making our own planner, Cheryl. I don't know if you're aware
Well,
of
I've
that or
been
not.
quite a project, haven't I?
Yeah. But I'm like Heather. I'm really really into gaining clarity from planning.
Wow,
So
that is
yeah.
so great, you guys.
Awesome. Okay, this is a great call. We got some great value out of this. And we will be back here on Thursday to do Elevate Your Mindset. I'm sorry, Elevate Your Leadership is on Thursday.
Leadership.
And yeah, for those of you in the coaching course, we do our weekly reviews every Tuesday. So we'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll see you on Thursday at Elevate Your Leadership. Thanks,
Bye, you
Cheryl.
guys. Bye.
Good
See
job,
you.
everyone.
Yep,
Stay motivated.
that's right.